Well, a Florida judge has set a new trial date in May for Michael Dunn on first-degree murder charges. On November 23, 2012, Dunn shot and killed 17-year-old Jordan Davis in a dispute that started over loud music. Davis was in a car with some friends parked outside a convenience store. Dunn claimed he was acting in self-defense, even though no gun was ever found in Davis's vehicle. He was convicted last month on multiple counts of attempted murder, but the jury couldn't reach a verdict on first-degree murder, and a mistrial on that count was declared. Michael Dunn remains in jail. Lucia McBath is the mother of Jordan Davis. She's now a national spokesperson for Moms Demand Gun Sense in America. Good to see you once again, and let me just have your reaction now to know that Dunn, in fact, is going to be retried on that first-degree murder charge.
We're very, very happy with that. Of course, it's the principle of the matter. We've been excited about the charges that have formally been brought against him, but it's the principle of the matter because the message that we're sending the country has to be that we're not going to stand for senseless gun violence. So we're looking forward to retrying Jordan's charges alone.
Are you ready to go through this all over again? Because this just ended a short time ago, and now we're a couple of months away from another trial.
Probably better prepared this time than we were the first time. We know what to expect. I think it's not going to be any easier, but just a little bit more tolerable.
A little more tolerable. Something here I'm going to put up for our viewers, a tweet. I know you and Trayvon Martin's mother have become very close through this, but two mothers forever bonded together, fighting the good fight of faith. Justice for Jordan is justice for Trayvon. Are you hopeful, and what is it about this case? Is something going to be different that makes you a little more hopeful that you'll get a different outcome?
Well, we believe that there probably will be a little bit more insight for the jury in terms of the instructions. We think that will be something that will have to really be looked at. We're not really sure at this point. I'm not really sure if there'll be 6 jurors or if there'll be 12 jurors. But we do expect that there should be something a little bit different. What we do know is that Michael Dunn's attorney, Corey Stroller, will no longer be trying the case, and so Michael Dunn will have a public defender.
All right, let me turn now away from that. I just wanted to get your reaction, but something you have been doing and it's keeping you very busy. You were among those that turned out in Tallahassee Monday for a march against Florida's Stand Your Ground law, the law that allows individuals to use force to defend themselves without attempting to retreat that we've heard so much about. But this is your thing as a spokesperson for mothers who demand action on gun violence. But what are you seeing? We're seeing a lot of states that are thinking about, Georgia included where you are, there's a lot of talk in the legislature about expanding Stand Your Ground laws, not actually restricting them in any way.
What has been happening in Georgia is very, very dangerous. We have one of the worst kill bills, I call it, in the country. Bottom line, HB 875 would expand the scope, dangerously expand the scope of the use of Stand Your Ground here in the state of Georgia. It's a very dangerous bill. And so Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, we are fighting this tooth and nail.
And you all are fighting in a lot of places around the country. And I was telling you before we got on here that I just mentioned that I was having you on the air today, and I got a lot of messages and tweets from people who were upset at what you all are doing, essentially saying you're directing so much of this at legislation that's not going to do anything about criminals, but actually it's going to restrict the rights of gun owners. And something on you all's website, it says, we support the Second Amendment. So I guess, do you have the right target, I suppose, in your mind, that the laws are what we need to be going after, or do we need to be educating people a little differently about, I don't know, just humanity and maybe even gun safety and things like that?
TJ, actually, it's a combination of both. Yeah. We have to educate the public as to what's happening individually in each of their states, make them more aware of how the laws affect their families and their futures. And by doing so, then they become more actively involved in knowing what their legislators in those states are voting on these measures for Stand Your Ground and gun violence. So if we educate them, make them more aware of what's happening, then they're more viable to be able to make a change by, talking with their legislators, speaking out and crying out about the injustice of the law.
All right. Well, we will, of course, continue to follow the efforts, and we have another trial coming up. Something that a lot of people were amazed with at the end of the last trial, after it wasn't a first-degree conviction, you came out and said that you were praying for Michael Dunn, that you felt sorry for him. A lot of people couldn't believe you came out and were able to put that together. Are you still praying for Michael Dunn, and have you talked to him, and would you like to?
I am still praying for Michael Dunn. I will always pray for him. Of course, I would not be honest if I said at times I'm not angry. I am human. But we have not spoken with him. I do not intend on speaking with him. I'll have an impact statement to give at sentencing for him. But there in that statement, I will let him know directly that I have forgiven him.
Wow. Lucia McBath. It's always good to talk to you.
Thank you.
But thank you so much for taking the time, and I know our paths will cross again. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me.